as far as when I'm looking to purchase into 151, I'm going to be totally blunt with you guys. I am going to be looking at around, I'm going to share exactly when I'm looking to buy 151 on the Japanese side as well as the English side. I'm also going to share my strike price, if you will, what buy-in price I'm looking for what particular products. I have some previous data that was post 2020. I know the world has changed now, so I'm looking at post 2020 data of some super hot sets here that I think is going to be really valuable to you guys today. Hello, beautiful people. Captain Zack Sparrow. I hope you're having a great day today. Yes, I'm wearing a Weepin' Bell shirt. I know it's a little wrinkly because I don't have my life together. Just ignore that part. But I wanted to throw this on for you guys. I got it at some convention. I forget where. But anyway, I'll jump into the video here for you guys. So let's talk about 151. So everyone is talking about it, right? Well, it's the latest upcoming set. Of course, everyone's talking about it. You've got the great Erica Full Arts. You got the waifu checkbox taken care of. You've got Charizard. You've got all arts taken care of. You've got all of the nostalgic Pokemon and the massive creators in the space, as well as people on forums, as well as Discords, Twitter groups. That's usually where I hang out the most. So everyone is raving about 151. So it's not that much of a surprise to say, hey, this is going to be a really hot set. It doesn't take too much of an expert to understand that. I wanted to share my point of view in what I'm looking to, how I'm looking to approach 151. Again, on the English side, as well as, here it is. I told you guys it was coming eventually, the Japanese side. And I'm looking to incorporate that more and more as the channel progresses, if you will. So stay tuned for that. So let's talk about previously, well, for a second, everybody take a deep breath in. And maybe some of you just don't ever let that back out. That was a bad one. I probably might need to cut that one out. Relax. I know everyone's talking about it right now, and I swear it is difficult for me to run through Twitter sometimes. I feel like I am actively losing brain cells when I see everyone saying, look at this artwork. Oh my goodness. The Pokemon Center just sold out on blah, blah, blah. Like, it's too much. It's too much. Let's think about this for a second here. A lot of new popular-ish sets are going to sell out on certain items, especially like the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. I'm not saying, hey, you should expect those to continue to sell out immediately or anything like that. There will be successive waves, guys, as well as let's think about this a few months out from now. It won't be brand new once it releases, like after it releases, and the next set comes out, and the set after that, and the set after that. How many sets are you still opening from a few sets back that you're still like, man, I just can't open enough of this? There are a couple like that potentially for some of you. And then there are a lot of sets that you don't look back on. And I know what you're thinking, Zach, 151 is different. I agree with that sentiment. I do believe that 151 is different, but yeah, what do I mean by that? It's going to cool off. I don't know by how much. I don't know for how long. And this is the data that I guess I want to jump into for you guys, which would be, all right, let's look at, this is cool. Let's look at Evolving Skies. Some of you may or may not recall. On the English side, let's look at the English side here. You were looking at, that set released August of 21. So it's been out for almost 2 years now at this point. Zach, booster boxes are insane. What are you talking about, man? This is exactly why I need to FOMO. Let's think about this. This time last year, you could get those booster boxes in the 140s. That's the same as what you could always pick it up at Pokemon Center, right? So you could have bought Evolving Skies 10 months, almost a year after Evolving Skies came out, a different set, the It set, if you will. You could have bought that set you could have bought booster boxes 10 months, practically a year after it came out, for around what it goes for. Now, I understand some of you might be saying, oh, Zach, you can pick up booster boxes, it should have been $100 or $90, whatever. $146, $140, right around that price point. That's a good buying price for a booster box. I'm not saying for long-term investment potential. That depends on the set and your timeline and a plethora of factors we don't need to get into this video. I want to keep it nice and succinct today. Just talking about Evolving Skies and 151 here. let's cooler jets on the 151 stonkage. And again, we've said this on the channel before, and I am employing this strategy with 151 as well. I am not buying 151 at the beginning. I'm buying like 2 boxes of Japanese 151 just so I can have right away. I want to open it. Hey, guess what? The old man Z here, he opens some boxes here and there. That's right, I don't share that very much, but I do enjoy the hobby. I try to keep the conversation, I guess, around the, what would you call it, the stonkage potential. I like talking about numbers. I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I like talking about it. So that's Evolving Skies. Let's look at EV Heroes, because I know some of you are going to be thinking about that right now too, which I was. EV Heroes. All right, let's think. EV Heroes came out just before Evolving Skies. That came out in May 2021. And those were hard to get under $100 a box. On the state side, you could do that. It was harder to get, like regularly, like if you were looking at like eBay, StockX or something like that, you were looking at around just over $100. I remember opening up some boxes thinking, my goodness, the potential money that this will be in the future. I still ripped it anyway. Had a great time. It was worth it. But anywho, you could have bought those boxes at the beginning pretty easily around that $100 price point, a little over $100. And sure, it spiked some, it dipped some, but right around that $100 price point, you could have, again, you're looking at March last year, you could have bought those booster boxes around that price point. So it is interesting to me to see one of the it sets again. Like, we knew that set was going to be hot potatoes, right? Like, in a good way, not passing it around, hoarding it for yourself. Am I right, stonkers? If you're telling me Evolving Skies sat around $140 there, and I could have got that nearly a year after it came out for that kind of price, one of the it sets, and everyone knew that set was hot. And you're telling me, again, 10 months on the Japanese side, I could have got EV Heroes for around that $100-ish price point, just over $100. Do I think that that's going to happen with 151? I'm not saying 10 months is the exact time frame. However, I will say, generally speaking, that 1 to 2 year mark, that's when I look to buy into a new modern set. I don't buy sets right out of the gate. I will occasionally, if I see what I think are great deals. For example, I bought like Battle Styles booster boxes for, oh geez, I forget. I don't know. I bought some cases at like, it was $80 shipped, I believe. Like, that was like at the start of like the modern crash, if you will, and that set was print to demand. So that was interesting. But regardless, just so you know, like kind of how I look to park my money. Because again, there's that opportunity cost of sitting on that, what I know is dead money for potentially years. And we're talking about the hottest sets of 2021 during absolute boom time, right? So I think we need to chill on 151. Open it up. Feel free to park some money into it right away if you don't trust me or you have some other data that you're looking at. That's totally cool. Look, like VMAX Climax, like you could have got those booster boxes for $50. You could have got those booster boxes for $50 this time last year. Think about that. Everyone was talking about VMAX Climax, right? So, and even today you can get them for just over $100. So I think we need to chill on 151. And yes, right around that year mark is when I'm going to. Now, I'm not saying I absolutely have to wait 10 months or I absolutely have to wait 12 months. And I'm not saying this is exactly what you need to do. Do whatever works for you. But I wanted to share this thought process because I know a lot of people in the community are not thinking about this way, and they're not. Everyone has like a general sense, and when you start talking out loud, when you start consuming content, when you start focusing on whatever's important to you with your money, if you're looking to park your money into some modern Pokemon for potential investment purposes. Now, is there risk associated with parking your money into modern Pokemon? Sure, like anything else, right? Zach, this assumes that you're having to make some assumptions here, assuming that demand will continue for these sets, and we're going to see a shortage of supply over time with 151 in this case, and that demand should stay consistent or even go up over time, and then prices will eventually start floating up. That's making some assumptions there. Let's be real. Pokemon isn't going anywhere in the next 6 months. I think probably most of us can agree with that. Now, is there a host of issues out there in the world that could occur that would cause panic, collapse of the brand, this and that? Yes, totally. But that's with any investment in life. So I don't like talking about that. I don't think that's that intelligent of an argument, that specific point. But what I do understand, and what I do always try to keep in the back of my mind, would be that opportunity cost of, hey, what else could this money be doing for me, right? So I understand Pokemon. I also understand 151 is going to be a massive, massive, crazy set. It's a little bit on the smaller side too, so think of more like celebrations. I don't know, comes to mind immediately, but as far as when I'm looking to purchase into 151, I'm going to be totally blunt with you guys. I am going to be looking at around 6 to 12 months. That's what I'm going to be looking at for this set. I expect some dippage in prices, and or we might not see a dip. Maybe 151 is so hot. Maybe it's so hot and we don't see booster box prices fall much below $100, maybe $80 on the United States side, right? Maybe that's what we see on the low side, and we see it sit there 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 months from now. Your boy Z over here, I'm going to be gobbling up as much as I can during that time. Now, this goes on the Japanese side as well as the English side too. I will be, for anyone who's still watching at this point, here's this little, I don't know what you want to call it, tidbit. I am going to be investing a lot of money into 151, Japanese side and English side. Take that how you will. That's not advice. I'm just sharing what I'm looking to do. We said on previous videos on the channel now that I am looking to find that it set, talking to some community members who I trust, just looking at the general sentiment around the set, and just being around the hobby for years, you come to know and just intuitively understand, hey, this is going to be a good set. It's going to be looked back on fondly. Now, could they print it to the moon? Sure. Here's my argument for that. Evolutions. That's a pretty good argument, I think. So I'm not saying 151 is the next Evolutions. It kind of is, though, isn't it? Like, so again, invest however you want, or don't invest. Maybe you just find these videos fun to listen to every now and again. I am going, because I am doing this as a real life, like, sort of A/B test for you guys. You guys can keep doing what you're wanting to do. I am running this test for you guys. This is how much I care about you guys. I really want to see how this plays out because I'm excited about it. I am going to be parking so much money into 151, so much. And I am going to be passing up on other sets now. I am going to do that. And we are going to look back 1 to 5 years from now and say, hey, I really screwed up. or maybe, hey, you know what? That was a pretty good call. I'm glad that I put a large portion of my stack in that over that next year. So during this next, let's look at 6, 8, 10, 12 months from now, because I believe it'll be in that time frame. That's what we've historically seen. I am going to be cooling my jets on what I'm picking up. Now I'm still, this is for anyone still watching this late, I'm still looking at vintage cards. Specifically, I find it interesting that on the Japanese side, we see all this modern stonkage happening, and I know that's a lot of new investors in the space. You're seeing a lot of FOMO with some of these ridiculous pop count cards, some of which I definitely believe are going to pull back in the future. Regardless, yes, they're popular Pokemon, but I find it interesting that I'm not seeing anywhere near that level of interest on the vintage Japanese side. And when I say vintage, honestly, anything older than, I don't know, maybe like XY. Um, yeah, we'll leave it at that. So I was actually looking at picking up some CGC Charizards because I saw an opportunity there. And then now with the CGC information, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little hesitant to see how that plays out before I do anything. So PSA, I'm just saying, when I'm looking to park long-term money, I feel more comfortable parking my money into PSA graded cards. You do whatever works for you. I just want to let you know what my take is on that situation briefly here. And then that's probably a whole nother video as well. The last point that I would want to make here would be, so for these next, 6 to 12 months, I'm not looking to be parking a ton of money, especially in a modern, during this next period of time. So I can keep that money. Here's what I am going to do. That money is going to be, I have a separate trading card savings account. That money, I'm just going to be shoving more money in that month over month. And it is going to be cash. I'm not going to be making a lot of money on that during this time. I understand that too. But I am okay with that because I see a potential investment here. I see a potential strike price. I don't care what the dollar amount is. Oh, I'll answer that here too, which would be strike price for 151. Something tells me, this is a gut feeling, okay? It's not as much data driven other than experience. Set after year, just seeing some of these numbers. I am looking at 151 probably floating around that $80 to $100 mark. Could be totally wrong. It totally depends how much they print, right? So demand, I believe, is going to be there. That is not so much the issue. It'll be interesting to see exactly how much they're looking to pump out of 151. And again, half a year from now, I'm going to seriously start looking at this. And all right, everybody's kind of cooled their jets. We've gone through like a holiday set at this point, like a successive holiday set. That's when I'm going to be really looking and lurking. I would think prices would be somewhere between $80 to $110 a booster box on the Japanese side. I'm just going off the rails here today. Look, ultra premium collection box. Let's talk about that real quick. Strike price, ultra premium, $120 isn't bad to start with. I would love to pick ultra premium collection boxes up below that because that's going to lower my risk on the buy-in price. So any time where I can lower my risk, lower my downside potential, I love that as an investor, right? Will we realistically see that? Who knows? I don't care. Let's look at the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection Box that just came out at the end of 2022. Here we are, just over 8 months later. You can still, I know people are saying they're starting to dry up a little bit. You can still buy these boxes. I saw a bundle. There were 2 of them that you can buy them right now, today. You can buy a bundle for these Charizard Ultra Premium Collection Boxes, 2 for $164. That's $82 a box. So, and you're talking about Evolving Skies in these boxes as well. So it is, that's what I'm hoping for 151. Who knows if that'll actually happen or not. But again, I'm not looking to purchase right away because I believe that I'm going to see these 151 Ultra Premium Collection boxes at a reasonable buy-in price 6 months from now. I don't know past that time frame. The Ultra Premium Collection box side, that is interesting. That could potentially be shorter printed, and I don't want to say that word strong at all. We could see a little bit less of that than we would see of other items like the booster bundles or anything else. I don't know. I don't know. There you go. There you have it. I don't know. But here's something interesting. This is serious. If you look right now, if you look real close at the Evolving Skies, not Evolving Skies. Yeah, at the Evolving Skies Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs, and you look at that percentage increase. That's cool, that's crispy, that's nice, But you know what I like? I like the Evolving Skies booster boxes in the sense that I can buy cases of them. They are smaller and it takes up less storage. Now, I don't know about you guys, I have to pay a monthly retainer fee for my storage. I have to pay for insurance. And that comes into play, into consideration when you're talking about storing a lot of product for a particular item. Now, if you're buying a case or two or three or four even of Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs, that's all well and dandy. Feel free to knock yourself out there, Spud. But on my side, that's something I have to keep in mind. Do I think the Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs will perform well? I do. You've got Snorlax on it, looks cool. I believe there will be a more limited run of them compared to other items. Potentially, this is what we have seen. So I'm expecting something similar for 151 to speculate in. So mostly what I'm looking at would be on the English side. I mean, there's not a ton to choose from that's interesting in my opinion, which would be I'm interested in the UPC. And again, around that $100 price point, if I can only get them for 120, and if I have to try again, I believe that we're going to see them at a reasonable price for months after release. Months and months and months after release, because we've historically seen this with hot sets. And I'm using a Charizard example. Zack, they printed a lot of those. You don't think they're going to print some 151 Ultra Premium Collection boxes? I don't know. That's just what I'm saying. I'm just saying I would rather park my money in cash in the meantime and be plowing that into Japanese booster boxes if you really want to know where my position. Here's the thing. I am favoring Japanese booster boxes over almost everything else, just so you know where I'm coming from. And oh my goodness, I don't know. I hope this is a cool video for you guys, because I desperately wish more content creators who have more experience than I do, and a lot of us, there's some smart people out there with a ton of experience who don't talk about this specifically. And I know for sure, because I advised people for years, I know for sure people are scared to death to share what they're looking at, why they're looking at it a particular way, how they value a stock, whatever it is, because they don't want to seem dumb. They don't want to they don't want to be embarrassed. That's literally what it is, which is unfortunate. I get it. People are, did you know this? People are more open and willing to talk about their personal sexual experiences in life. They're more open to do that, and they do talk about that more than they do their personal financial side. I always found that fascinating, that little statistic. As far as, well, you don't know what you're talking about, Zack, and yeah, it's totally my opinion. I'm just going off of years of experiences and data and recent examples too, because again, things are different. You have to readjust your outlook. This is what hedge fund managers do. This is what advisors do. This is what any sort of trader who's in the know. And instead of just drawing arbitrary lines and saying, hey, here's some resistance, that's cool. That's a good starting point. I will say 98 point something percent of the time, TA, technical analysis, is just BS. So be aware of that. Be careful and make good buying decisions based off of not only what you're watching, but watch other videos, consume other information, come to your own conclusions, and then you can confidently step forward on whatever that is. That's the biggest thing that I want people to start taking away from this channel would be, now's the time to invest. And I've probably got you guys with a nice little clickbaity intro, like with I'll probably do something crafty maybe for the thumbnail or title or both or something, but I just feel like this is information that is hard to come by. There's so many, I don't want to say anything, there's so many content creators in this space and other spaces who are frankly kind of, I don't want to say dumb, but they at least act dumb, or they're incredibly ignorant. And it's unfortunate because they have thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of followers and subscribers and this and that. A lot of you, I know watching this channel understand that doesn't necessarily showcase someone's intelligence level or experience or how good they are at something. It just means, hey, they mastered the game of the algorithm. And again, that's unfortunate sometimes. And it's also cool to, man, this chair, I might name a chair. This chair keeps sinking for anyone who might be new and watching this long. So thank you for watching this video that long. And oh my goodness, I am past time on how long I wanted to record for this video. So I need to wrap it up here. But if you guys do want to see more videos like this, let me know. And just stop being, I was going to say stupid. Stop being stupid. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and watch another one of my videos. And until next time. Just don't be dumb.